that he did not win. I need him to understand what he created when Brex sat in his private office on the top floor of the Merchant Tower. Through the window, he could see all of Marrowhaven spread below him. Normally, this view made him feel powerful. Today, it just made him feel exposed. Everything was falling apart. His political allies were not returning his messages. His business partners were distancing themselves. Kelroth had disappeared somewhere, muttering about humans and shadows. Thunner was a laughingstock after losing to 4 small humans in the arena. The consortium was crumbling, and Brex did not understand why. Someone knocked on his door. Brex jumped. He had sent his guards away, not trusting anyone anymore. "Come in," he said, his voice sharp. The door opened. A human woman walked in. She was small, barely reaching his chest even with his forearms folded. She wore simple clothes. Her dark hair was pulled back. She looked ordinary, forgettable, except for her eyes. Her eyes were hard and clear and fearless. It took Brex a moment to recognize her. The human from Crosspoint 7, the captain. The one he and the others had taught a lesson about knowing her place in the galaxy. She should be broken, scared, hiding somewhere. What was she doing here? "You," Brex said, standing quickly. His hand went to the communication device on his desk. "I will call security. You sent your security away," Hannah said calmly. She walked further into the room, her footsteps quiet. "You do not trust them anymore. You do not trust anyone anymore. That must be frightening." Brex's hand hovered over the device but did not press it. Something in her voice stopped him. She was not afraid. She should be afraid. "What do you want?" "I want to talk," Hannah said. She sat down in the chair across from his desk without being invited. "I want to tell you a story about humans. Since you seem to misunderstand us, I do not have time for stories," Brex said. But he did not move. Something about her calm presence was more terrifying than any threat. "You will make time," Hannah said. It was not a question. "Because I am the reason your world is falling apart. I am the reason your allies abandoned you. I am the reason you cannot sleep at night wondering who is coming for you." Brex felt his blood run cold. "You did this? You are just one small human." "How? Not just me," Hannah said with a small smile. "My family. My crew, the people I love and who love me. You hurt me, Brex. You and Kelroth and Thunner, you hurt me badly. And then you threatened my family to keep me silent." "You were supposed to learn your place," Brex said, his voice defensive. "Humans are new to the galaxy. You need to understand that you are not equal to us. It was a lesson, nothing personal." "Nothing personal," Hannah repeated softly. "You beat me. You violated me. You made me feel worthless and small. You threatened to hurt my family if I spoke." "And it was nothing personal," she leaned forward. "Let me tell you what was personal. My crew loves me. They are young and they have all been hurt by the galaxy before. I saved them. I gave them home and family and purpose. And when they saw what you did to me, they declared war." "Your crew did this?" Brex could not believe it. 4 young humans destroyed my empire?" "Yes," Hannah said. "Because that is what humans do. We are not the strongest species. We are not the fastest or the smartest individually. But we have something most species do not understand. We bond, we form families not just by blood but by choice, and we protect those families with everything we have." She stood and walked to the window, looking out at the city. On Earth, our home world, we were not apex predators because of our claws or our fangs. We had none. We were weak and slow compared to the creatures that hunted us, but we survived. Do you know why? Brex said nothing. "Because we worked together," Hannah continued. "Because we were patient. Because we never gave up. We hunted animals much bigger than us by following them for days until they collapsed from exhaustion. We outlasted ice ages that killed everything else. We adapted to every environment on our planet, from burning deserts to frozen tundra. We did not give up. Ever." She turned to face him. "You hurt me. You thought I would stay quiet because I was scared? You were right. I was scared, but my family was not. They decided that you needed to learn a lesson about humans. About family, about what happens when you hurt someone's pack. They hunted us. Brex whispered, understanding finally dawning. They hunted you? Hannah confirmed. Kelroth lost his reputation and his sanity, constantly followed by a human who never stopped, never slept, never gave up. Thunner was humiliated in the arena, defeated not by strength but by human stamina and teamwork. And you, Brex, you lost everything, your power, your allies, your control. All taken away by 4 young humans who loved me enough to chase you across the stars. What do you want? Brex asked again, his voice was smaller now. Revenge? To kill me? No, Hannah said. I do not want to kill you. I want you to understand. I want you to carry this lesson back to the consortium and to anyone else who thinks humans are weak. We are not weak. We are strategic. We are patient, we are loyal, and we never forget when someone hurts our family. She walked to the desk and placed a data chip on it. On this chip is evidence of every crime the consortium has committed. Every bribe, every assault, every law you broke. My crew has been gathering it for weeks. I could release it right now and destroy you completely. The authorities would arrest you, your victims would testify. You would spend the rest of your life in prison. Brex stared at the chip. Why are you telling me this? Because I am giving you a choice, Hannah said. The choice you did not give me. You can run, hide, try to escape, but you will always know we are out there, watching, waiting. One mistake, and we release everything. You will never feel safe again. Or you can turn yourself in, face justice. Accept responsibility for what you have done. You're mad if you think I will do that, Brex said. Maybe, Hannah agreed. But think about it. You are alone now. Your allies are gone, your protection is gone, you have nothing. If you run, you will always be running. Always looking over your shoulder. Wondering if today is the day we find you. Humans are very good at hunting, Brex. We never stop. We never forget. She walked to the door and paused. Or you face justice now. Maybe they will be lenient, maybe not. But at least you can sleep at night. At least you can stop wondering when we will come for you. Because we will always be out there, me and my family, ready to protect each other from people like you. Hannah opened the door. Her crew stood in the hallway, all 4 of them. Minho with his patient predator eyes. Gina with her knowing smile. Tang with his solid, protective presence. Yuna with her quiet strength. They said nothing. Just stood there, watching. Brx saw them and felt something he had never felt before. True fear. These humans had destroyed his empire without ever raising a weapon. They had hunted him like ancient earthwolves hunted prey. Relentless, coordinated, unstoppable. Choose wisely, Hannah said softly, and remember this feeling. Remember what it feels like to be helpless, to be hunted, to be afraid. That is what you did to me. Now you understand. She walked out with her crew. The door closed behind them. Brex stood alone in his office, staring at the data chip. He picked it up with shaking hands. On it was his destruction or his redemption. The choice was his. Outside the building, the crew walked together through the streets of Marrowhaven. The sun was setting, painting the sky purple and gold. They did not speak for a long time. Finally, Yuna broke the silence. Do you think he will turn himself in? I do not know, Hannah admitted. Maybe not. Either way, he is finished. If he runs, he will always be running. If he stays, the evidence will eventually come out. Justice will be served. We did it, Gina said softly. We hunted them. We made them pay. Yes, Hannah said. She stopped walking and turned to face her crew. Her family, but more importantly, you saved me. Not by hunting them, by showing me that I am not alone. That I do not have to be strong all the time. That it is okay to let people help me. Tears ran down her face. I tried to protect you by staying silent. But silence only protected them. You taught me that asking for help is not weakness. That family means protecting each other. All of us, together, Yuna hugged her first. Then Gina, then Minho and Taiyang wrapped their arms around all of them. They stood there on the street, 5 humans holding each other, a captain and her crew, a mother and her cubs, a pack that would fight the whole galaxy to protect each other. What now, Captain? Minho asked when they finally pulled apart. Hana wiped her eyes and smiled. It was her real smile, the one that had been gone for so long. Now we go home, back to the Morning Star, back to our life. We have deliveries to make and places to go. We are a cargo ship, after all. Just that? Taiyang asked with a grin. Just that, Hannah confirmed, with one small change. From now on we stay together, no more solo negotiations. No more handling things alone? We are a pack, we work together? Agreed? Agreed. They all said together. They walked back to their ship as the stars began to appear in the darkening sky. Behind them, in his office, Brex made his choice. In 3 days, he would turn himself in to the authorities. He could not live with the fear anymore. The humans had won, not with violence. Not with weapons, with patience and loyalty and love for each other. The story of the Morning Star crew spread through the galaxy, about how 4 young humans hunted the powerful Vest Consortium across the stars, too. Thunder liked to hurt people. Everyone knew this about him. He walked through the streets of Marrowhaven like he owned them, shoving smaller beings out of his way. He laughed when they fell. He enjoyed their fear. Taiyang watched Thunder from across the street and felt his anger burn cold and steady. This was the creature that hurt Hana, one of them, anyway. Thunder was big, even for a Vest. His forearms were thick with muscle. He had scars on his face from fights. He wore them like medals, but Taiyang knew something important. Bullies were cowards inside. They picked on the weak because they were afraid of the strong. And they never expected the weak to fight back. Taiyang's plan was simple but effective. He would challenge Thunder to combat. But not directly, that would be stupid. Instead, he would use the Vest culture against them. The Vest had strict honor codes about fighting. If someone challenged you through proper channels, you had to accept or lose face. And if you accepted, you had to follow the rules. 1 fighter at a time. No weapons except what was agreed upon. No outside interference, but there was a loophole. The rules said 1 fighter at a time. They did not say it had to be the same fighter. Taiyang sent the challenge through official channels. He used his fake identity as Jinho, a cargo hauler who claimed Thunder had cheated his shipping company. The challenge was recorded and registered with the local authorities. Thunder had to respond within 3 days or admit fault. Thunder laughed when he got the challenge. A human challenging him? It was a joke. He accepted immediately. The fight would happen in 2 days at the public arena. Hand-to-hand combat, no weapons. First to surrender or fall unconscious loses. This is insane, Gina said when Taiyang told them the plan. He will crush you. No, Taiyang said calmly. He will not fight me? He will fight all of us? They stared at him. Minho understood first. The rules say 1 fighter at a time. Not 1 fighter total. Exactly, Taiyang smiled. I fight first. When I tap out, someone else takes my place, then another. Then another. We rotate, we rest. He does not. Humans have better stamina than Vests. We can outlast him. That is brilliant, Yuna whispered. That is cheating, Hannah said, but she was smiling a little. No, Captain, Taiyang replied. That is being human. We adapt, we find advantages. We use our brains because we cannot match their strength. That is not cheating, that is survival. The day of the fight arrived. The arena was packed with spectators. Everyone wanted to see the foolish human get destroyed by Thunder. Betting was heavy against the humans. Nobody gave them a chance. Thunder stood in the center of the arena, all 4 arms raised, roaring at the crowd. He was confident, cocky. He did not even bother to study his opponent. Why would he? Humans were weak. Taiyang walked out slowly. He looked small compared to Thunder. The crowd laughed. Some even felt sorry for him. This would be over in seconds. The bell rang. Thunder charged forward, all 4 arms reaching to grab Taiyang, but Taiyang was not there. He ducked under the grasping hands and rolled to the side. Thunder spun, confused. The human was fast. For 5 minutes, Taiyang did not attack. He just dodged, moved, stayed out of reach. Thunder grew frustrated. He swung wildly. His breathing got heavy. He was using too much energy trying to catch something he could not hold. Then Taiyang struck. Quick jabs to pressure points Yuna had identified, not hard enough to do real damage. Just enough to hurt, to irritate, to tire? Thunder roared and lunged. Tiang let himself get caught. Thunder lifted him high and threw him across the arena. Tiang hit the ground hard and raised his hand. I yield. The crowd booed. They wanted more violence. But the rules were followed. Thunder won the first round. Then Minho walked out. The crowd went silent. What was this? Another fighter. The officials checked the rules. There was nothing that said the challenged party could not send multiple fighters, as long as they fought one at a time. The rules were followed. Thunder was tired, but he laughed. Fine. He would beat all the humans. How many could there be? Minho fought like Taiyang taught him. Fast, smart, he did not try to win. He tried to tire Thunder out more. He made the vest chase him around the arena. Made him waste energy. Made him angry. After 8 minutes, Minho yielded. Then Gina walked out. The crowd was getting interested now. This was unusual, entertaining. 3 humans against 1 vest? This would be a story to tell. Jina was the smallest of them, but the fastest. She was impossible to catch. She moved like water, slipping through Thunder's attacks. She struck at his knees, his joints, the sensitive spots on his arms. Nothing serious? Just painful, annoying, like being bitten by insects. After 10 minutes, Gina yielded. Thunder was breathing hard now. His movements were slower. He had been fighting for almost 30 minutes with no break. But humans did this for hours back on Earth. Hunting, running, never stopping. Yuna walked out next. She was a doctor. She knew exactly where to hit to cause maximum pain with minimum damage. She turned the fight into a lesson in anatomy. Thunder roared in frustration and pain. He could not catch her. Could not hurt her. Could barely move anymore. After 12 minutes, Yuna yielded. Thunder fell to one knee, gasping. His forearms trembled. He had been fighting for almost an hour. His body was not made for this. Vests were built for short, powerful fights. Not endurance contests. Then Taiyang walked back out. He was rested now, ready for another round. The crowd realized what was happening. The humans were rotating. They were hunting Thunder like ancient Earth predators hunted prey. Not by being stronger, by being relentless. Yield, Taiyang said to Thunder. You cannot win this. We will keep coming. We will never stop. That is what humans do. We outlast everything. Thunder tried to stand and attack. His body would not cooperate. His legs gave out. He collapsed on the arena floor, gasping for air. The officials declared him unable to continue. The humans won. The crowd was silent at first. Then someone started clapping, then another. Soon the entire arena was cheering. They had never seen anything like this. It was brilliant, terrifying. The humans had not broken any rules. They just used the rules in a way nobody expected. Thunder lay on the ground, humiliated. Defeated not by strength but by stamina, by strategy. By humans working together as a pack. He would never live this down. The great Thunder, beaten by 4 small humans who barely hurt him but would not stop coming, that evening. The crew met at Minho's apartment. They were sore and tired but happy. Hannah looked at each of them with pride. 2 down, Gina said, putting ice on her bruised shoulder. 1 to go. Brex will be harder, Yuna added. He is smarter than the others, more careful. He is also more dangerous, Hannah said quietly. Kalroth and Thunder were muscle. Brex is the brain. He plans everything, controls everything. What do we know about him? Minho asked. Gina pulled up her files. He has connections to 12 different political offices. He pays them to look the other way when the consortium breaks laws. He also has dirt on most of them. Blackmail material, that is how he stays in power. Fear and manipulation. So we take away his power, Taiyang said. Expose his corruption. Not yet, Hannah said. If we expose him now, he will just run, hide behind his connections. We need to isolate him first. Make him vulnerable, then we strike. How? Yuna asked. Hannah looked at the window thinking, Brex is paranoid. He trusts no one. He has enemies everywhere because he has hurt so many people. We use that. We make him think his allies are turning on him. We make him so paranoid that he makes mistakes. And then? Minho asked. Then I face him, Hannah said. Her voice was steady, but her hands clenched into fists. He needs to know that the woman he hurt did not stay down, that she fought back, that she had family who loved her enough to hunt across the stars for justice. The crew nodded. They understood. This was about more than revenge. It was about showing Hana that she was not alone, that she did not have to be strong by herself. That family meant protecting each other. Over the next week, Gina worked her magic. She created false communications between Brex and his political allies, messages that suggested betrayal, documents that hinted at double crosses. She planted them carefully, making sure they would be discovered but not traced back to her. Minho spread rumors through merchant networks. Brex was planning something big. He was going to expose his allies to save himself. He could not be trusted. Everyone should protect themselves first. Yuna used her researcher identity to meet with some of Brex's enemies. She asked innocent questions about his business, his methods, his vulnerabilities. The questions got back to Brex, making him wonder who was investigating him and why. Taeyang did the simplest thing. He followed Brex everywhere, just like Minho followed Kelroth. But Taeyang was bigger, more obvious, more threatening. He wanted Brex to see him, to wonder, to worry. Brex started to crack. His allies stopped taking his calls. His political connections grew distant. Someone was coming for him. He could feel it. But who, and why now? He suspected Kelroth and Thunner might have talked. Betrayed him. He cut them off completely. Now all three Vests were isolated, alone, powerless, just like Hana had been. "It is time," Hana said during their meeting. "Tomorrow I face him. Alone." "Captain, no," Yuna protested. "Let us come with you." "No," Hana said firmly. "You have done so much for me. You have shown me that I am not alone, but I need to do this part myself. I need him to see that I am not broken." The Morning Star traveled through empty space for 2 weeks. Inside the ship, everything changed. The crew trained every day. They studied. They planned. They became something new. Taeyang woke them at dawn each morning for physical training. "Humans are not the strongest," he told them as they ran in place in the cargo bay. "But we have stamina. We can keep going when others quit. Our ancestors hunted animals by chasing them until they collapsed from exhaustion. We do not need to be strong. We need to be relentless." He taught them how to fight opponents bigger than themselves, how to use speed and angles, how to strike weak points. Gina learned to use her small size as an advantage, slipping under attacks. Yuna learned pressure points on Vest bodies, places where even light touch could cause pain. Minho learned tactics, how to coordinate their movements like a pack of wolves. Even Hana joined the training. At first, she just watched from the doorway. Then one morning, she stepped into the cargo bay and said, "Show me." They trained together. Nobody talked about what happened. They did not need to. The training said everything. "We will protect you. We will fight for you. You are not alone." Gina created their new identities. She hacked into official records and made them new people. Minho became Daeyeon, a parts dealer. Gina became Yoonji, a ship mechanic for hire. Tiang became Junho, a cargo hauler. Yuna became Nari, a biology researcher. And Hana became Sora, a freelance trader. "These identities are clean," Gina explained, showing them their new credentials. "No connection to the Morning Star, no connection to each other. The Vests will not see us coming." Minho tracked Kelroth, Thunner, and Brex through shipping records and business filings. The Vest Consortium was attending a big trade conference on the planet Marrowhaven in 3 weeks. All 3 of them would be there. Rich merchants from across the galaxy gathered there to make deals and show off their wealth. "That is where we go," Minho said, pointing to the planet on his star map. "That is where we start." "Start what exactly?" Hana asked. She stood with her arms crossed, watching them plan. Her voice was stronger now. The empty look in her eyes was gone, replaced by something sharp and focused. "We make them pay," Taeyang said simply. "Without getting caught?" Gina added. "Without breaking enough laws to bring authorities down on us." "How?" Hana asked. Aina Ijo smiled. "We learn from the best. You always told us that humans survived on Earth because we were smart. We adapted. We worked together. We outlasted everything that tried to kill us. We use those skills now. Yuna pulled up her research on her tablet. Vest psychology is interesting. They respect strength and direct power. They do not understand subtlety. They think humans are weak because we are smaller and we avoid direct confrontation. But that is not weakness. That is strategy. We hunt them, Minho continued, but not with weapons. We hunt them with fear, with paranoia, with patience. We take away everything that makes them feel safe, their money, their reputation, their power. We make them understand what it feels like to be helpless. Hannah looked at her crew. Her family? They had grown so much. When she found them, they were lost children. Now they were hunters. She felt pride and sadness mixed together. She wanted to protect them from this, but she also knew they needed to do this. For her, for themselves, for their family. Okay, Hannah said quietly. But we do this my way too. We are not murderers. We are not like them. We make them pay, but we keep our souls clean. Understood? They all nodded. Understood, Captain, they said together. The Morning Star landed on Marrowhaven 3 weeks later. The planet was beautiful, covered in purple forests and silver cities. Rich people from every corner of the galaxy came here to spend money and make deals. It was the perfect hunting ground. They split up. Minho rented a small apartment in the merchant quarter using his new identity as Dae-yun. Gina got a job at a repair shop near the conference center. Tang hired on as security for one of the hotels. Yuna registered as an independent researcher and got access to the science district. Hannah took a small office as a freelance trade consultant. For 3 days they just watched. Humans were very good at watching, at seeing patterns, at noticing things others missed. They learned the schedule of the 3 vest targets, where they ate, where they slept, who they talked to, what they cared about. Kelroth was the leader. He loved his reputation. He spent every evening at expensive restaurants, surrounded by other merchants, telling stories about his successful deals. He bragged about how smart he was, how he always won negotiations. Thunner was the enforcer. He spent his time in fighting arenas and bars, drinking and threatening anyone who looked at him wrong. He liked to hurt people. It made him feel strong. Brex was the negotiator. He was quieter than the others, but more dangerous. He had cold eyes that calculated everything. He met with politicians and officials, making deals in quiet rooms. He was the one who planned everything, the one who told the others what to do. We start with Kelroth, Minho decided in their secret meeting at his apartment. He is the weakest link. His pride is his weakness. We use it against him. What is the plan? Tang asked. Minho pulled out his tablet and showed them. Kelroth loves to brag. He tells everyone he is the best negotiator in the sector. So we make him look like a fool. We make people doubt him, question him. We take away the thing he values most, his reputation. Janae grinned. I can do that. Give me 2 days. Those 2 days changed everything for Kelroth. First, his accounts started showing errors. Not enough to be theft, just small mistakes that made him look careless. Then rumors started spreading through the merchant networks. Someone heard that Kelroth had cheated on a deal. Someone else heard he was in debt. A third person heard he was working with criminals. None of it was true. But people believed it because Gina made it look real. Fake messages. Altered records. Carefully planted evidence that led nowhere but made everyone suspicious. Kelroth noticed. He started acting paranoid. He yelled at his assistants. He checked his accounts every hour. He stopped going to restaurants because people whispered when he walked by. But the worst part was, Minho followed him everywhere. Not close, just at the edge of vision. Kelroth would turn around and see a human watching him from across the street. He would go into a building and see the same human leaving as he entered. He would eat lunch and see the human at a nearby table, just staring. Minho never approached, never threatened. He just watched and followed, and watched some more. Humans were endurance hunters. On ancient Earth, they tracked prey not by being faster, but by being persistent. They followed for hours, days, never stopping until the prey was exhausted. Minho did the same to Kelroth. He barely slept. He ate while walking. He followed the Vess everywhere for 5 days straight. Kelroth started to panic. He saw the human everywhere, following him, watching him, never stopping. He could not sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he thought about those cold human eyes watching him, waiting. On the 6th day, Kelroth went to his business partners and accused Minho of stalking him. But when they looked, Minho was gone. And none of the security cameras had clear footage of him. Just glimpses, shadows. Was the human real? Was Kelroth going crazy? His partner started to wonder. Kelroth was acting paranoid, unstable. Maybe the rumors were true. Maybe he could not be trusted. By the end of the first week, Kelroth had lost 3 major contracts. His partners were avoiding him. His reputation was damaged. And he still saw that human everywhere, watching with patient, predator eyes. Phase 1 complete, Minho reported to the others. Kelroth is isolated and paranoid. His business is failing. His reputation is destroyed? Good, Hannah said. She felt strange. Satisfied, but also sad. Revenge did not feel as good as she thought it would. But seeing her crew work together, protecting each other, that felt right. Thunder is next, Tai Yang said. I have a plan for him. And Brex? Yuna asked. Hannah looked at each of them. Brex is mine. When the time comes, I will face him. But not yet. First we take away his power. His allies. Everything he uses to feel safe. Then, when he is alone and afraid, I will show him what he created. He wanted to teach me a lesson about power. I will teach him one about justice. They nodded. The hunt had begun. 3 young humans and their captain, working together like a pack. The Vess consortium thought humans were weak. They were learning their mistake. In his expensive hotel room, Kelroth sat in the dark watching the door, waiting for that human to appear, wondering what was happening to him. He did not know this was just the beginning. The cubs were hunting, and they had learned from the best predators in the galaxy. Patient, persistent, and absolutely relentless. They would not stop until justice was served. That was what humans did best. They protected their family, no matter how long it took. No matter what it cost, the hunt had only just begun. Gina's fingers flew across her keyboard in the dark engine room. Her 3 screens glowed bright blue, casting strange shadows on her face. She had been working for 6 hours straight. Her eyes burned and her back ached, but she would not stop. Could not stop. The station security system at Crosspoint 7 was supposed to be impossible to hack. But Gina was very good at impossible things. She found a back door through the maintenance protocols. The station's cleaning robots recorded everything they saw. Nobody thought to protect those files because nobody thought they mattered, but they did matter. They mattered a lot. Jina watched the cleaning robot footage from 3 days ago. The robot had rolled down a hallway near the Vess Consortium offices. Its camera caught Captain Hannah walking with 3 Vess aliens. One was very tall with dark gray skin and gold rings on his arms. The other 2 were shorter but still bigger than Hannah. They surrounded her as they walked. Not threatening, but not friendly either. They went into a room marked Private Negotiations. The door closed. The cleaning robot rolled away. Gina fast-forwarded the footage. 2 hours and 40 minutes later, the door opened. Only Hannah came out. She walked differently now, slow and careful. Her jacket was torn. Her hair was messy. She kept one arm wrapped around her middle like she was holding something broken. Gina zoomed in on Hannah's face. What she saw made her stomach turn. There was a cut on her captain's lip, a bruise forming on her cheek, and her eyes. Her eyes looked dead. Gina stopped the video and took a shaky breath. Then she started searching for the 3 Vess aliens. The station kept records of everyone who visited. She matched the faces from the video to the visitor logs. Their names were Kelroth, Thunner, and Brex. All three worked for the VES Consortium. All three had files marked with security warnings. Violent tendencies. Suspected assault. Political connections too strong to prosecute. They had hurt people before and nothing happened to them. Gina saved everything to an encrypted file and sent it to the others. In the navigation room, Minho stared at his screens. He was looking at flight records and communication logs. The Morningstar's computer recorded every signal that came near the ship. Minho had gone back through 3 days of data. He found something interesting. While Hana was in her meeting with the VES, the Morningstar received a message. It was encrypted, but Minho broke the code. It was simple, really. Just basic substitution. The VES probably thought humans were too stupid to crack it. The message said, "Tell your captain that her crew is easy to find. Tell her to keep her mouth shut about our business dealings or we will make them hurt." Starting with the small female doctor, they had threatened Yuna. They had threatened all of them. That was why Hana stayed silent. She was trying to protect them. Minho felt something cold and hard settle in his chest. He had grown up on the streets of Bizan before his family died. He learned early that the galaxy was not fair. Strong people hurt weak people and got away with it. He thought space would be different. It was not, but Hana had been different. She saw him stealing food from her cargo bay, and instead of turning him in, she asked him if he was hungry. She gave him food. Then a job. Then a home. She never asked for anything back. She just loved him like family. Now someone hurt her and threatened his family. Minho was not a violent person, but he was discovering that he could be. He started plotting courses. Where the VES Consortium did business. Where Kelroth, Thunner, and Brex might go next. Humans were good at tracking. It was one of their oldest skills. On ancient Earth, human hunters would follow prey for days, weeks even, never giving up. That knowledge lived in Minho's blood. He would find them. It might take time, but he would find them. In the medical bay, Yuna pulled up everything she could find about VES biology. She was a doctor. She healed people. But right now, she needed to understand how to hurt them if necessary. The thought made her feel sick, but she pushed the feeling away. This was for Hana. VES had 4 arms and thick skin. They were strong, much stronger than humans. Their bones were dense and hard to break. But they had weaknesses too. Everyone did. Their eyes were sensitive to bright light. Their hearing was much better than humans, which meant loud sounds hurt them more. And their respiratory system was complex. They needed more oxygen than humans. Thin air would make them weak and slow. Yuna made notes of everything. She felt strange doing this. When she was training to be a doctor, she took an oath to do no harm. But that was before bad people hurt her captain. Before she understood that sometimes protecting your family meant being willing to fight. Hana had found Yuna in a refugee camp. Yuna had been treating sick people without proper supplies or medicine. The authorities wanted to arrest her for practicing without a license. Hana stepped in front of them and said Yuna was her crew now, under her protection. She did not even know Yuna. She just saw someone who needed help and helped them. Yuna would do anything for her captain. Anything. In the weapons room, Taiyang was doing research too. But his research was different. He was looking at combat techniques. The VES were bigger and stronger than humans. Fighting them straight on would be stupid. But humans did not have to fight fair. Humans were smart. Taiyang had been a soldier in the Earth Defense Force. He was good at it too, until his commanding officer ordered him to fire on unarmed civilians. Taiyang refused. They discharged him for insubordination, gave him a black mark on his record so nobody would hire him. He spent months looking for work, for purpose, for anything. Then Hana found him in a bar, drinking away his last credits. She sat down next to him and said, "You look like someone who knows how to protect people. I need someone like that." She did not care about his record. She only cared that he tried to do the right thing. Taiyang pulled up files on VES combat styles. They relied on their strength and reach. But they were not fast. Humans were faster. Humans had better reflexes. And humans could adapt. They could learn and change tactics mid-fight. Most species could not do that. They learned one way and stuck with it. AEYNG started designing training programs. If they were going to fight the Vess, they needed to be ready. He would make sure his family could protect themselves. That night, the four of them met again in Minho's quarters. Gina showed them the video. Nobody spoke as they watched their captain walk out of that room, hurt and broken. When it ended, Yuna was crying silently. Taeyan's jaw was clenched so tight his teeth hurt. Minho just stared at the screen. I found their names, Gina said. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. Kelroth is the leader. He has connections to the Galactic Trade Authority. That is why nobody arrests him. Thunder handles enforcement. He hurts people for the consortium. And Brex does negotiations, which apparently means threatening and assaulting people. They sent us a message, Minho added. He played the recording. They threatened to hurt us if Hannah talked. That is why she has been quiet. She is protecting us, like she always does, Yuna whispered. Not this time, Taeyang said. He leaned forward, his big frame making the small room feel smaller. This time we protect her. Even if she does not want us to. How? Gina asked. They have power, money, political connections. We are just a small crew with a cargo ship? Yes, Minho said slowly. But we are human. And humans are very good at a few things. We are patient. We are smart. We work together better than any other species. And when someone hurts our family, we do not forget. Ever. I have their biology information, Yuna said. Their weaknesses. I can track them, Minho added. Find where they go. What they do? I can get us new identities, Gina offered. Make it so they do not know we are coming. And I can teach you all how to fight, Taeyang finished. How to take down someone bigger than you. They looked at each other. 4 young humans who had been lost and broken. Who had been saved by a woman who asked nothing in return except that they be good to each other. That woman was hurt now. Hurting and alone because she was trying to protect them. We have to be smart about this, Minho said. The Vess expect strength and direct confrontation. We give them something else. We hunt them the way our ancestors hunted on Earth. Slow, patient, from the shadows. We make them scared. We make them understand that hurting a human's family is the worst mistake they can make. When do we start? Taeyang asked. Minho smiled. It was not a nice smile. We already started. Gina, make us disappear from records. New names, new backgrounds. Yuna, keep researching. Find every weakness. Taeyang, train us. Minho looked at each of them. We are going hunting. And we are going to show the galaxy what happens when you hurt a human's pack. They all nodded. In the silence, they made an unspoken promise. Justice for their captain. Protection for their family. And a lesson that the Vess Consortium would never forget. Outside in the hallway, Hannah listened again. This time she did not walk away. This time she closed her eyes and felt something warm spread through her chest. Her cubs were protecting her. She wanted to tell them to stop, to keep them safe. But she knew they would not listen. They were too much like her. She touched the bruises on her neck and made a decision. If they were going to hunt, she would help them. Together they would show the galaxy that humans might be small, but they were mighty when they fought for family. The small cargo ship called Morning Star moved through the dark space like a quiet bird. Inside the ship, everything felt normal. The lights hummed softly. The engine made its usual steady sound. But something was wrong, and everyone could feel it. Captain Hannah stood at the bridge window, staring at the stars. Her back was straight and stiff. She did not move when Minho walked up behind her. He looked at her reflection in the glass and saw nothing in her eyes. They were empty, like someone had turned off a light inside her. Captain, Minho said softly, we need to sign the fuel reports. Hannah nodded but said nothing. She turned and walked past him. Her movements were careful, like each step hurt. Minho watched her go and felt his stomach twist. Something was very wrong. 3 days ago, they had stopped at Crosspoint 7 station. It was a big trading post where ships came to buy supplies and make deals. Hana had gone alone to meet with the Vest Consortium. They were aliens who controlled most of the trade routes in this part of space. The Vests were tall creatures with gray skin and too many arms. They thought they were better than everyone else, especially humans. Hana had been gone for 3 hours. When she came back to the ship, she was different. The captain, who always smiled and asked about their day, was gone. This new Hana barely spoke. She walked to her quarters and locked the door. They heard her shower running for a long time. Now, 3 days later, things were getting worse. Yuna sat in the small medical bay, looking at her datapad. She was the ship's doctor, young and caring. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple tie. She chewed her bottom lip as she studied the screen. The ship's computer tracked everyone's health automatically. Captain Hana's readings were wrong. Her heart rate was too high. She was not sleeping. Her body showed signs of stress and injury. Yuna had tried to talk to Hana that morning. She found the captain in the cargo bay, checking supply crates. "Captain Hana," Yuna had said, keeping her voice gentle. "I need you to come to medical bay. Your health readings are concerning." Hana did not look up from the crate. "I'm fine. But Captain, you have—" I said, "I'm fine." Hana's voice was flat and cold. Then she pulled her jacket collar up higher around her neck and walked away. Yuna had stood there, feeling helpless. But not before she saw it. When Hana pulled her collar up, there were dark purple marks on her neck, bruises. The shape was wrong. They were not from an accident. In the engine room, Gina lay under a plasma conduit, working on the connections. Her hands moved fast, tightening bolts and checking wires. But her mind was not on her work. She kept thinking about the captain. Gina was good with computers and machines. She could fix anything. 2 days ago, she had tried to access the security footage from Crosspoint 7. She wanted to see what happened during Hana's meeting. But all the cameras near the Vest Consortium offices had stopped working during that exact time, all of them at once. That was not an accident. Someone had turned them off on purpose. Gina crawled out from under the conduit and wiped her hands on her work pants. She had found something else, too. The ship's external sensors had recorded everything when Hana returned from the station. Gina had watched the footage. Hana had walked slowly across the docking bridge. Her clothes were torn at the shoulder. She had held her arm close to her body, protecting it. And she kept looking back over her shoulder like someone might be following her. Taeyang was in the weapons room, cleaning a pulse rifle. His big hands moved over the weapon with practiced ease. He had been a soldier once, before everything went wrong. Before Hana found him and gave him a new life. He set down the rifle and rubbed his face. The captain was hiding something bad. He knew the signs. He had seen them before in other soldiers. The way she jumped at loud sounds now. The way she would not let anyone stand behind her. The way her hands shook when she thought no one was watching. Yesterday, he had walked into the mess hall and Hana was there, making coffee, he had called her name, and she spun around so fast her cup fell and shattered on the floor. For just a second, he saw pure fear in her eyes. Then it was gone, replaced by that empty look. "Sorry," she had said, her voice flat. Clumsy, but Hana was never clumsy. She moved like water, smooth and sure. Something had happened to break her. That evening, the 4 crew members met in Minho's small quarters. It was the room farthest from the captain's quarters. They sat close together, speaking in whispers. "She's not okay," Yuna said first. Her eyes were red from crying. "I saw bruises. Bad ones. The cameras were disabled," Gina added, her jaw tight with anger. "Someone planned this. They made sure there would be no evidence." Minho looked at each of them. He was the oldest of the crew, but still young, 26. Hana was only 32, but she felt like a mother to all of them. She had found each of them when they had nothing. Minho had been living on the streets, stealing food to survive. Hana had caught him trying to steal from her ship. Instead of calling security, she had offered him a job. What did the vest do to her? Taeyang asked, his voice low and dangerous. I don't know, Minho said, but we need to find out. And we need to help her. She won't talk to us, Yuna said sadly. She keeps saying she's fine. And then we stop asking and start looking, Gina said. She pulled out her datapad. I can dig deeper into the station records. Find out who was in that meeting, what happened. Do it, Minho said. All of us, we find out what happened. We find out who hurt her. And then, Taiyang asked. The room went quiet. They all knew what came next. Humans were new to the galaxy. Most aliens thought humans were weak and soft. But they were wrong. Humans remembered everything. Humans protected their family. And humans could be very, very dangerous when someone hurt their pack. Then we make them pay, Minho said simply. The others nodded. Captain Hannah had saved each of them. She had given them home and purpose and family. She had protected them when they were weak. Now it was their turn to protect her, even if she did not want them to, even if it was dangerous. They were her cubs, and their mother was hurt. That meant war. Outside the door in the dark hallway, Hannah stood frozen. She had been coming to tell them about a course change, but she heard them talking through the thin walls, heard them planning, heard the love and anger in their voices. Her hand went to her neck, touching the bruises under her collar. She squeezed her eyes shut. She had tried to protect them by staying silent. The Vess had threatened to hurt her crew if she told anyone what they did. But her silence was not protecting anyone. It was only making things worse. Hannah walked away quietly. In her quarters, she sat on her bed and put her face in her hands. For the first time in 3 days, she let herself feel everything. The fear, the shame, the pain, and something else. Something warm that pushed back the darkness. Hope, because she was not alone. She had never been alone. Her cubs were hunting now. And heaven help anyone who hurt their pack.